Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the next episode of Authors Bantering. I'm Josh Breslin, that's Ian M. Rogers, and this is the last episode of the year. So last episode of 2023, and so we figured we'd wrap up the year by going over our goals for the new year. I have basically a ton, but not so many are necessarily writing related. So I guess I'll just start, and then I guess Ian, you can jump right in. For me, I have basically two goals for next year. One is obviously to finally get my book out, Crease. It's coming out in February. Get that squared away and just basically get that out there. I don't have too many goals as far as promoting sales or anything like that. I'm sure as the year goes on, I'll come up with like small things like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that. But basically, get the book out. That for me is the biggest thing. Just closing that chapter on my life, really, is that. And the other thing is, as far as actual writing goes, is to get my next novel finished. So to basically wrap up by next December with a finished novel that is ready to go. So ready for agents, ready for publishers, ready to self-publish, perhaps. Who knows? That is my goal for next year. It's certainly doable. I'm at the fifth or sixth draft now of my current novel, so I think it can probably get done next year, but we'll see. Next year's going to be a little bit wild for me. So...
Well, no, I was going to say, I think those are good goals, and I think they're very reasonable goals, and they're also very flexible goals.
Yeah.
Like, you're not spreading yourself too thin, and you're focusing on basics. Like, you have a book coming out, so you want to focus on getting that book out there, and then you're working on this other project, and you want to focus on making that the best it can be. And, you're not setting hard deadlines for yourself, and you're certainly not setting hard results. Like, you're not saying, like, I'm going to sell 1,000 copies of my book. And, if you don't make that 1,000 copies, then you're going to be a failure at your goal. And I think that's the mistake a lot of people make, is that they set these kind of end results that are maybe not realistic in that sense. So I think your way of going about this is very smart.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Especially coming from you who's actually already done this. So this is good to hear for me.
Because I say that because I don't make firm results oriented goals for me either. Okay. It's like, especially in their external, it's like number of sales or getting something signed, or anything else that's kind of outside of my control. Like, I have more control over, how much I work and kind of, what projects I'm able to finish. But in a lot of ways, like, you can't limit yourself or set these standards that you can be setting yourself up for failure and discouragement if you don't make them.
Bingo. Good. And so how about you, man? Like, so what do you have for next year?
Yeah, so my goals are also pretty simple. They're pretty similar to yours. So I'm in the process of finishing a book right now. And, I'm sort of polishing up a fourth draft, and then I want to do a fifth draft, and then a final round of edits with my editor in the fall. And that's my main goal, is to really just, put this book to bed. It's come a long way since I've been working on it, and all the elements are in place. It just kind of needs a final polish. And as I talked about last time, I've had to take some breaks from writing, because of some family crises and things that have been going on this year. That's my main goal. And then my second goal is to start and work on this new draft of this new project that I want to work on. And starting a new project for me is always a very, very intimidating experience. I haven't started a novel since 2021. Actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
January 2021, I started on the book I'm working on right now. And for me, there's always a lot of buildup and a lot of nervousness about like writing that first sentence, or even like starting the outline, really, because really this book I'm just mentally planning it right now. And the mental planning is going very well, but there's a big intimidation factor to actually, putting pen to paper. One thing I would like to be better about is just getting more practice starting, because I think if I am able to start more big projects, and the intimidation will go away. With
Absolutely.
Book 3, book 4, book 5, book 6. I don't want to be having like starting anxiety. When I'm on book 8. I want that to be something that goes away as I get more comfortable with this process. So that's what I've been thinking about.
That's fair. I think, and that's a good one too. And it's good that you're kind of thinking ahead as far as going forward. That's good. Like first time in 2 years and almost 3 years now, right? That you've actually started a new novel. That's
yes, and it's
you're approaching with a sense of seriousness.
I wish that could write faster. I really, really wish I could. Again, that's for the next few years. My goal is to write faster and more than I have in previous years.
Okay.
And I feel confident that I'm going to be able to make that happen with this new setup that I have. And again, will hopefully lead to more of this steady process, not the anticipation anxiety, not a big gap between projects like I have right now.
Awesome. I like that. No, and see, you already have another goal now, right? To write faster. So
And actually, that's a really good point, because when we talk about goals, one goal can very naturally lead into a second goal, which can very
yes,
naturally lead into a third goal, or a goal, that side goal that springs off of that. And I've always been the type of person, rather than thinking of things in terms of January or yearly goals or New Year's resolutions or anything like that. It's setting goals for myself incrementally as I go,
yeah,
and as I navigate the path, and as I can see more of what the future might look like.
I like
So
it.
I feel like I'm constantly, brainstorming on new goals that I want to set for myself in the future, and then setting those goals and then moving towards them.
That's awesome. And the other thing too you've hit on right there is the idea of not just focusing so much on the actual goal, like the kind of like you said right there, like outcome based ones, but also the habit, right? Like I want to develop the skill to be able to write faster. That long term will get you further than anything else. Just having that habit down.
Yeah.
Because as much as it is nice to kind of project what you want to get done through the year, it's the daily small things that you're doing that are going to actually pay off for you. So kind of why I always talk about writing every day, right? It's writing every day by itself is not that big of a thing, right? You could miss a day, and you could write 200 days out of the year, right? And still make some progress. It's the idea of just kind of committing to that small habit and making it part of your routine that actually gets you to writing the novel, that gets the one novel done so you can get to the next one, and gets builds up there. Excellent.
I definitely agree. So that's very well said.
Right. And so we'll keep this one very, very short. It's the end of the year. So thank you all for watching this. Looking forward to see you guys in 2024. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And with that, we'll see you next Monday. So this is Josh Bresslin. That's Ian M. Rogers. And we're going to see you guys next week.
Take it easy.